Hi everyone, Schoolhouse Intuitive. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'm here with a tarot reading for the Libra Collective, any placement of Libra. And today we're going to focus on the 1010 portal. We're going to talk about what it is, how Libras connect to the 1010 portal, give you some ideas for how we can manifest. I've come up with a little tarot spread that we're going to use, and just symbolism throughout tarot of um, the tens in tarot, basically. All right, so to start out, I do want to say happy birthday to the Libras who are celebrating this week. Some of you today, so happy birthday if today is your birthday, and some of you have 1010 as a birthday, so that's a really cool birthday to have. Happy birthday. So 1010 is a sign of a new path awaiting, right? This card's come up a lot in our readings. And for the majority of Libras, not all, but most, October or 10 is our month of birth, right? So we are closely connected to the number 10. That's why I wanted to do this reading. So this is about letting your soul grow and trust in new beginnings. There is this energy, this being Destiny's Gate portal, so to speak. That's another name for the 1010 portal, the Destiny's Gate portal. Um, this is about reassessing balance. 10 and 10, they're balanced, right? They're balanced numbers. And of course, we are justice, the judge, or I'm sorry, justice, and not to the judge, but that is also all about balance, right? So incorporating kind of the connection with Libra to 1010 on a more personal level. This could also be about just aligning with your self purpose. What I really feel it is too is it's a time to kind of recalibrate. We're assessing, we're balancing things out, and so I guess a fancy word for it would be recalibration, right? So it says something here is in process. And I have another thing that comes to mind when I think of 1010, and I just feel there's some sort of karmic or cosmic cash in. So I prefer the word cosmic. I do feel that karmic and cosmic are similar, right? Having to do with energy and what we're putting out there and how the universe responds and that sort of thing. But cosmic would be on a grander level, karmic would be on more of a personal micro level. But I kind of want to call it the cosmic cash in, because I do feel that for some of you, the scales will balance more. All right, and that's great, because you know what it's connected to: the Wheel of Fortune, 10, the Sun, 19, which converts to then a 10, and that then so that's another 10. So if we think about those cards and what they represent, it's a powerful time for positive change, right? If breaking it down very simply. So another thing here is this notion of you following your dream in some way. All right. So how can you follow your dream? This is about enjoying the road you've taken towards your goals and dreams. Trusting the hard choices you've made are in line with who you already are and who you aspire to be. Be ready to step out of your comfort zone and watch the magic happen. Something here is in process. It is time for a change. It's time for a shift, right? This could be a new direction, some sort of soul evolution, right? As I've talked about with Three Eye Atlas, that reading, I do get this, this very evolutionary kind of energy. So let's go ahead and get into some tarot. We will use the Light Seers Tarot by Chris Ann. Let's see what we have. I actually really love this deck. I don't use it much on the channel though. So this is 10 in numerology. It does symbolize completion and renewal, because the 1-0 then becomes a 1, and that's renewal. That's that new start. So when you double 1010, it amplifies the energy of transformation, endings, beginnings. It's great because we can really free ourselves from what no longer serves us, and really make room for, as I said, almost like a cosmic cash in some way. Maybe you've been putting in so much work, and you're feeling, again, you're kind of assessing, recalibrating, and putting your energy now more into things that are going to give back. It is about changing your luck, really, kind of like Wheel of Fortune, 10 event 10, right? So I should actually have a Sun card and Wheel of Fortune out for you to look at, So why don't I go ahead and do that now that I'm thinking of it, just so you have it here. And let's see. We could say, I mean, certainly there are many other cards in tarot that have to do with completions and beginnings, but because it's a 10-10 portal reading, we're going to focus on the Wheel of Fortune. All right. And let me get out. We are going to talk about all of the 10s in tarot throughout this reading. And don't worry, we'll still get a reading in. That'll still happen. All right. So I'm just looking for the Sun card. And well, I guess I could just tell you. So I feel that Libras are connected to this portal because it's coinciding with the Sun being in Libra, obviously, right? But I think it has to do too with, it does have to do with personal growth and our relation to others. That kind of, again, that balancing of energies. And so I think that that obviously that goes really well with the energy of Libra in general, right? We are about the scales and balancing things out, and we're all about relationships too. Wow, where is the Sun card buried? I guess. Okay, there it is, poking out. Okay, thanks. There we go. All right, so we have the Sun card and we have the Wheel of Fortune. Those are our major arcana 10s relating to 10-10. And it's not just, this reading isn't just about how to manifest, right? How to, although we talk about that a lot, but it's kind of just like how to work with the energy in general, and really get what you wish out of it, right? So there's a lot of symbolism too in this portal. And the Wheel of Fortune, it's like, again, one cycle ends, another begins. Okay. I'm looking at my notes. Also about you not, and I always talk about this, like you're not a passenger in life, right? You're the main star. You're the one, to some degree too, really directing. You're like co-directing with Source, and so it's about getting in that driver's seat of life, right? In tarot, the number 10 is a culmination point, as we've already talked about, and with the Sun, this is about uh, it's basically, the Sun is all about clarity, joy, alignment, success, right? And so really it's the themes of illumination, vitality, truth, which is very Libra, rebirth, right? Growth, because the Sun's what gives so many of us energy, right? And so yeah, this is about stepping into your light, Libras. All right, stepping into the light, letting your authentic self shine, and knowing that the path ahead is clear. As a matter of fact, Libra, look, a new path awaits. You see, it's all coming together here. So yeah, I've been doing a little more like reflecting and meditating prior to readings so that I can kind of give you more of an in-depth analysis of certain things like portals. So hopefully you enjoy this. Anyway, let's get started with Libra. What do we need to know for this 10-10 portal, this very powerful energy activation? Libra, we seek harmony, right? And the Sun is here to remind us that true balance does have to include our own happiness, right? And play, like the child on the card, self-expression, really stepping into that light or that wheel, that driver's seat, right? Grabbing that wheel. Libra, your first card out. Oh my goodness. There's the Tower. Yikes. All right. Well, we do have butterflies here of transformation. So this is a very interesting way to start the reading. The Tower, though, of course, it can represent some sort of destruction in some way, but it's sudden change. It's a shakeup, right? It can be surprising in some way. There are a lot of earthly events happening, so it could be something on that level. It could also be, it could be something small. You find out you owe a small balance to the dentist or something, right? And that's like just when you don't want to hear you owe anything, that comes in, and it can really feel like, it ruins your day. So it's like, maybe a little tower in the day, or it could be, yeah, something that's really calling for your attention to make some sort of big shift, big change, because the Tower can sometimes be huge change. What else do we have? All right, what else? I get the name Molly coming in too. And I'm also getting a name like McDevitt or something. And then you have the Seven of Cups. So something that seems like total upheaval, it does feel like it's happening for a reason, right? It's so that you will take this new direction. It's so you'll take advantage of a new path. So it does make sense with the change, the whole energy of change and big shifts, so that you can really have the life that you want to live. It makes sense that it would be like just a complete overhaul in some area of your life, potentially. And it's not going to be for everybody, right? Only take what resonates. But the Seven of Cups reminds you, yes, there are some choices. We're going to want to take our time though, okay? And the sun comes in and brings that awareness, right? Sheds light. And that's something that Libra is all about, right? We want to shed the light, that beam of truth. You have the Moon card. So I will admit, I don't love the Seven of Cups with the Moon card. Let me put this so you can see it better. Not my favorite combination, because I do feel that it can feel very confusing, both cards together. It's kind of like it could be a lot of emotional clutter and confusion. It could be unexpected problems in some way and not really knowing which way to go. The general advice, if I want to oversimplify, is go with the heart, go with your gut, what feels best. What else do we have? Tell us a little more, please. Let's get divine direction on this. There's a lot of water coming in here, Libra. A lot of water energy. Journey. Okay, so this is about not fearing leaving everything familiar behind and going into the unknown. That's what's going on here with this Tower into a Seven of Cups into the Moon. That is a big transition into the unknown in some way. You could really be just really revamping something. Again, it's the recalibration. Something hasn't really been working. This is the kind of energy that wants you to and lends itself to making a big change, right? The Wheel of Fortune is about destiny, cycles, fate, divine timing, karma, right? Yeah, completion and new beginnings. And we haven't had the Tower in a while, and out it comes. It's letting you know, Libra, connecting it back to that Wheel of Fortune, that life is in motion, right? It's all a journey. It's about that journey, not the destination. I'm sure you've heard that quote. And it is true though. The wheel's turning, and you have the power to turn that wheel in the direction you want to go. You're being invited to align with your soul's path. You're not being forced, but yeah, there could be some sort of something out of your control that reminds you of the control that you do have after it kind of sweeps in. All right. So let's see what else. The star, Libra, look. And the sun is a star. You're that star, Libra, and it's your time, it's your season, it's Libra season. So shoot for the stars. Don't settle for fine. Set your sights higher. You deserve better, and that's why sometimes we get hit with towers. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's kind of like it helps us make a decision, because now we know one option is no longer viable. It really is making me think too about the Ten of Swords, and that it could be some sort of painful ending, right? But it's a completion. So there is a 10. There's the Ten of Swords, that's coming in mentally. I'm thinking of the Ten of Swords. It's not actually here yet. I say yet because I feel like we're probably going to get a lot of tens in this reading. Oh, there we have that. Okay, so you have to trust yourself here, Libra, with your ability to choose. All right. So we have commitment. This is about dedicating yourself fully to something that's going to be long lasting. But I get this energy with the moon here and that 7 of Cups. We're thinking, but what? Which one's the best decision? Or, which one's the best path? I feel like a lot of you, though, the path, or what to choose. It's like you've already chosen, and maybe you've already been chosen in some way, but it's like the next step. It's like, how do I get started, though? Or like, what do I do next? So I do kind of feel that energy for you. All right. So I feel, though, that you'll see that more clearly because you do have the sun here, and that's revealing truth through clarity, through warmth too, maybe through healing some sort of relationship, wounding from the past, or a current relationship that you just kind of feel is, you're wanting it to be more heart-centered. Let's see what else we have. 4 of Swords. Rest, retreat, rejuvenate. Some of you may actually be recovering from something. Okay, that is kind of underneath. That's underneath the in process. Like something is. Remember, we just got that card about you being under construction. Libra being under construction, and to be patient with the universe. Okay, so let's see what else we have for Libras. Oh, we had a flipper. For whatever reason, I'm getting a channeled message about Gone with the Wind. I guess we didn't have a flipper, but I am getting Gone with the Wind. Okay, Knight of Wands. Maybe you're feeling as though you're gone with the wind. That can be an energy right there, the Knight of Wands, that's taking action. They're free-spirited, and they're going to free themselves. And they're very creative, too. They have a lot of energy, beat of their own drum kind of people, right? So where is it that you want to go, though? To your Nine of Pentacles. Self-sufficiency. Something reliable, something that you can achieve for yourself. It's all about following your dreams and knowing, though, that it's like a work in progress, right? We're all in different places. Now, the Nine of Pentacles, too, that's a card of focus. Yeah, it is. And in the end, one has to do with the individual, right? It can have to do with self, obviously. One is a very powerful leadership energy. And the reason I'm bringing the one in is because 1 and 0 is 1, right? That's everything. Is if you're going to make it all about digits 1 through 9, then a 10 would become a 1. So, and generally that's how we do it in numerology. But when we have numbers like, doubles, like 10, 10, master numbers or power numbers, however you want to refer to them, then angel numbers, then it becomes something different. But let's see. We'll get divine direction on this too. Okay. Then I am going to go through and I'm going to just ask more specific questions because I think some of you may have specific questions. I'm going to see if I can answer those. Okay. So it's going to be a little different style reading here because I wanted to come up with an actual kind of some goals here, make it a little more focused, like the Nine of Pentacles, very focused and focusing on what we want to grow. And so what you're hoping to bring in could be yours in the spring. Now, some of us we have different spring, right? Spring here isn't the same as spring in Australia, right? All right. Okay. All right. You also have say no. And that's about no to toxic connections. Okay. So any sort of influences that could be harmful. Libra, it could be like a younger, fiery energy that's a little too free spirited. That could be what you're saying no to. Or you're just not ready for some sort of adventure because maybe you're still doing some sort of healing and repair, or you need to get some sort of just again, like kind of retract and kind of pull your energy back so that you can get clarity. What else? Whoa, that really leapt. Oh my goodness, this one keeps coming out in readings round and round, Libra, round and round. Here we go. This, 10 really connects us to the universe too, right? It does. The ones and the zeros. Yeah, that's what everything's 1 and 0, right? In the universe. So that's, yeah, anyway. Okay. Give attention to situations that keep repeating themselves. There's a lesson you're resisting to learn. Oh, It could have to do with your overall abundance or your belief in your ability to do something on your own. Mm-hmm. It's almost like you're feeling as though it's going to take too much effort. I'm getting exhaustion, right? So now I'm going to connect this to the 10 of Wands. I am feeling that 10 of Wands energy right now as I'm talking about that. It's the exhaustion. It's like, think the burden, responsibility, the overwhelm. You're carrying too much possibly. So, you know what the message is from this 1010 portal for you then, Libra? Is yeah, you need to say no to some things, create those boundaries, and drop what's not yours. You have to reclaim your energy. Here in the Nine of Pentacles, that is exactly what she's doing. She's reclaiming her energy. With the Wheel of Fortune, that's what you'd be doing too, right? And when we had that with the Ten of Swords, you could say that's mental release. That's that painful ending, yes, but it's like an end to the mental exhaustion too. So this is, that's letting go of anything limiting, any past wounds, letting you know the worst is behind you, Libra. That's another message that 10 brings in through the 10 of Swords this time. So releasing those patterns, whatever's disrupting your harmony, Libra, that's what we're letting go of. We're seeking truth and seeking clarity, and the 10 or the sun, which becomes a 10, is what helps us see that truth and clarity in a warm way, in a compassionate way too. Libra, you have the 7 of Swords. So I was just talking about, an end to betrayal, an end to mind games. This is an end to mind games too. That's what it feels like. And that, for some of you, that's what the Tower is. Betrayal in some way. It could absolutely, this is the card of, theft, dishonesty, right? Deception in some way, trickery, of running away, running away from something. So are you the one running, or are you running away, or, or like it, because it can be self-deception too, right? It can be like, not really being honest with yourself about something. But for a lot of you, I do feel that like the Tower is like feeling as though someone kind of, it can kind of be like backstabbing energy, especially because that 10 of Swords energy is in this reading as all the 10s are now here. So yeah. How do we get to that 10 of Cups though? That's what I want to know. The Hermit. Go within. You're going to manifest your own 10 of Cups. That happy ending, the bliss, right? The harmony, the love, the support, all that fulfillment. But first, you might have to go to that top of the mountain, metaphorically speaking, for that inner guidance, that spiritual solitude. Okay, go within. Search for the truth. And Libra, if something does not feel right, take your time. Make the choice that feels best for you, right? That 7 of Cups, like you have some choices that really aren't the best. You need to follow your dream. Do not settle. Okay. And that's what this is clarifying. Partly it's clarifying the 7 of Cups, but also the Star card. And what does the Hermit have in their lantern? They have the Star. Libra, it's like, I want to talk about kind of what do we want to commit to and what do we want to let go of? Whoa, there's a lot here. Too many cards fell out. So this commitment card, what are we committing to? What is the best thing? Like, what should we use as our guidance? Yeah, we have the Moon. We know to go with our intuition and go with what feels right. Guidance, please. King of Swords. There, yeah. And you'll notice this person's at the top of a mountain again in solitude. They're feeling their way through something. We have the Bats, and they're also, but they're connecting head and heart. And so that's something, that we may want to be, again, that's part of that balance, right? So another way we're balancing is the head and the heart. So analysis, right? Through the mind. Well, I guess you could say the mind is the heart. It all depends on your beliefs. That's a tricky question. But let's just say the King of Swords arrives to their own conclusions. They have it within them. They use a combination of how does their body feel when they think about a certain decision they're making, or the relationship they're in, or a situation they're in. How is it affecting their body? How is it affecting their mind, their spirit? How is it affecting them emotionally? And they consider all the factors before making a choice. They are seekers of truth and speakers of truth. So strategic thought, and they're very balanced, right? And that's what they commit to. They commit to their truth. And that's about you committing to your own dream. All right. And that's, because ultimately one theme, I mean, with the 10 of Cups, that's emotional fulfillment. And that's a goal. So we can't really leave the emotions completely out of things, right? With the moon here, especially, that's very intuitive, dreamy, feely energy, right? Now, I want to talk about 10 of Pentacles, okay? Because that's what I feel is going on here. There's some sort of change regarding your resources, okay? So now I'm going to ask some questions about how can we get to that 10 of Pentacles, the legacy, the stability, right? This would be themes about wealth, long-term success. I think we have to also, because things might be feeling around and around, we need to get clear and base our dreams in reality in some way, and think about what's that next step. Be grounded in it, like the Pentacles, grounded, earthy energy. I want you to ask yourself, what are you ready to release to get to that 10 of Pentacles? What are we ready to release? I'm getting into the questions part now. What is Libra ready to release? Whoa. There's 6 of Cups. Could be dreams of the past. A dream that didn't come true. It could be a familiarity, releasing familiarity, releasing that maybe younger version of yourself that didn't know better, forgiving yourself. That's a release, forgiveness. And it could take a while. This is about spiritual rejuvenation. 4 of Swords, go within, retreat, recharge, rejuvenate. 6 all the way through spring, because you have the rebirth here. And the 6 of Cups. You do have children in this reading. So that's just, maybe you have some things going on with family commitments. You're the child, or you have children, or someone's acting like a child, but it does kind of feel like there's a younger energy here. So let's Libra, what are you ready to receive? Let's ask, if we're saying no to the wrong things, what are we ready to receive? What are we ready to receive, or should we be ready to receive? Please guide us. 7 of Wands. So the 7 of Wands, there's clarity here, as you can see. They're tuning in, and they're maintaining control in some way. They're persevering. They're getting things in order mentally, spiritually. They're guarding their energy here too, but they are persevering, and they are in charge here. They're getting centered and getting grounded. So that's advice about, what you're ready for, how to get ready for whatever's coming in next. What else? What else are we ready to receive? I want to continue with this question. Ready to receive. Okay, that's too many. All right. Ready to receive. 1 card. Okay. Ready to receive. How about an end to the stress? Because you wouldn't possibly be wanting to receive anxiety, stress, and nightmares, right? So this would be, recovery in some way. This would be reaching out for help. So being ready to receive support, help, being ready to receive, it can be secrets too. Being ready to receive what's been keeping you in a certain pattern, how to release yourself from that. So it's a relief from that. It's some sort of comfort too in what could be a stressful situation. I am feeling that as well. And this card can sometimes have to do with comfort. They literally have a comforter blanket on them, if we're thinking about tarot symbolism. It's knowing you're connected to something larger than yourself too. And again, giving situations too much attention, the wrong things, your energy. That's what we need to get out of, right? That's how you can protect your well-being here. That's part of that persevering and taking a stand and not backing down and not compromising. Very interesting that we would receive the Nine of Swords for what are you ready to receive? Interesting. I'd like to know more about that. The Fool card. It's, you know what it is? It feels like I get some of you being almost like, bring it on. Like, bring it on. I'm ready. Because they're almost like, I'm not saying you're hoping for a tower or anything, but I think for some of you, maybe you're hoping for direction on where to go next. And sometimes we find that clarity when we're feeling the most like broken down or lost. It's like it feels kind of like a rock bottom kind of energy, where like the last resort. And yeah, it just feels very much like the end of struggle with this Nine of Swords. Like, that's what you're ready to receive, the end of the struggle. Putting that to rest. And so that you can have this Fool card energy here. This is the new beginnings. It's like kind of like again, it's like not wanting to drag something out. That's another thing. I feel like you're ready for a conclusion to the suffering, to the sadness, to whatever this is that's heavy, that's been heavy. Or it could also be just a pattern in general that you want to break. Quitting smoking, like putting an end to like, yeah. And yeah, that could be stressful. Like, change can be stressful, right? And something like that could be very stressful too. But then you have the Fool card here, as I said. So I always call this like the trust fall with the universe, right? The new beginnings, the hope, the freshness, the spontaneity. That's what happens when that Wheel of Fortune turns. And they have an amethyst point here. And amethyst can be connected to your dreams. It can help manifest. It can help with psychic abilities. It can help with a lot of things. And they're being their own dream keeper. And like, because Nine of Swords is also connected to like nightmares, right? So they're turning a nightmare, they're taking they're taking what they can from a certain situation and moving forward, carrying just those lessons, right? They're leaving the nightmare behind to follow their dream, to make that change. So I would say, other questions you might want to ask yourself regarding the sun, the Wheel of Fortune, and tens in general regarding this reading. Some things you may want to consider are what brings you new joy in life, right? And like the Sun card, how do you add that in? How do you add that in to have more balance for this new beginning? Because you don't want to carry this old energy. You want to be free from that, right? We actually want to go from the 9 to the 10 because we want that completion. Sometimes we need to have that completion to have the new path. We can't be in two places at once very well. We can do it, but you can't do it very well, probably. So, and then also, how can you shine your light more fully? And what patterns keep appearing and reappearing? Maybe you want to find out what the patterns are, what's blocking you, what's stressing you. Maybe you're wanting to examine that anxiety and stress and fear. So that could be what you're calling in, because we got that as our, what are we calling in? So what are the patterns? And then where are you resisting change? Is there an area of your life that, again, it's like round and round, not in that, or feeling as though that wheel is spinning in the mud, right? Not going anywhere. Feeling like, yeah, I'm spending a lot of energy here, 10 of wands, right? Burdens, responsibilities again, but like not really getting anywhere. This going uphill like this, it seems like endless. And I don't know how long I can do this. But some of you, it's like we've got to set those boundaries. We've got to shift where our energy is going. We have to focus. Yeah. Because when you think about 2, when you think about 10, it's made up of 1 and 0, which would be magician and fool. So focusing, like magician, manifesting, focusing, using your resources, bringing a desire into reality. That's the 1, right? And then for magician, and then the 0, the fool. We just talked about the fool. We have to remain optimistic, though. Got to stay open. Stay open. And again, shoot for the stars, right? And also this card makes me wonder, with the Fool card being here, like I'm going to ask you, how can you trust yourself more fully? How can you do that? Because I think it would help clear up some of this confusion or stress, even possibly. Okay, and you have the 2 of Pentacles here. So the 2 of Pentacles is balancing. It's weighing things up. It's also another card of focus. That's how you can feel you trust the universe, when you're really putting something in. Because if you're trusting yourself, then you're able to trust the universe. To me, I feel like sometimes it seems like they're the same. Is it my higher self? Is it the universe? What is it? What's actually manifesting here? Is it co-creation? I tend to think it's co-creation with something greater than myself, but I'm part of it too, right? And then you have the Knight of Cups, really following that heart, following the dream. Mm-hmm. Loving life again, even for some of you. Kind of putting it out there, and it doesn't have to be fast, but it's like we want to get it going. You don't have to get everything done all at once. The Knight of Cups is not fast. They're not fast moving. But I get the sense too that they're divinely guided, because that's that heart energy. It feels like, right? And divine love, that sort of energy. All right, so let's see. Yeah, it's kind of, if you look at this portal as more than just a set of numbers too, it's sort of like declaring to the universe that you're ready to live a more balanced, harmonious lifestyle. It's not about focusing on, I'm feeling, lost, broken. You're not broken. You're becoming, you're aligning. It's not about waiting, right? It's about rising and doing. Again, becoming. Boom, there's the Ace of Swords. We could consider the aces as ones too, right? So Ace of Swords. That's us, Libra. We're Ace of Swords, because we're air, right? So there's your breakthrough. There's the new beginning. There's the clarity. And I really think 1010 is going to help you with that. I really think that. Yep. I feel like it's going to help you reflect on your worth, which can benefit your relationships and your own just well-being in general. And I think it's going to help you manifest your dreams, honoring your own path, creating your path, finding a way to make it work, enjoying the journey more. Let's get some other messages here. So Libra, we all have things that are, well, I keep thinking lately, especially that, life's a series of endings endings and beginnings. So what is this portal, this 1010 portal, asking you to step into? What is it asking you to step away from? What chapter's ending? What do you want to release? What new energy is ready to come in? Is it more sun? Is it more Nine of Pentacles? Is it all of that? Is it more going with the heart? I just heard intuitively or psychically, sorry, some of you enjoy singing. So sing. If you enjoy it, do it, And after this tower, I ask you, what foundation, what do you, if you could start all over, what would the first thing be that you do? Because you don't have to do it all at once, but if you start all over, because that's the thing with tarot, like too, it's you can look at tarot as like a story of like, what if this, because it's not set in stone. So it's kind of like, well, okay, a possible tower, what would we do? How do we respond to that? How do we feel about that, right? Tarot can help us reflect, right? Because I do believe tarot is a mirror, and I feel like the energy too, even the 1010 energy, I feel is like it's a mirror. So we're being mirrors to ourselves, or with ourselves, I guess you could say. Yeah, that makes sense. I know it got kind of weird, but it's about facing our truth, really. That's what it is, facing the truth. Your angels are aligning the moving parts. All is coming together in divine timing, Libra. And there's songs, okay. So when a random thought or song pops into your head, it's a special message from your angels. Funny, as I was shuffling, I was saying, someone enjoys singing. So sing, and then you have a card that has song on it. So getting more balanced, staying true to you, Libra. So break the bonds that bind you. You're wrapped in a codependent situation. Maybe some of you are wanting dramatic change through, for that, and that can be, again, that could even be tower. It can be some sort of dramatic change. It doesn't have to be some massive horrific event. That's not what the tower's all about. I mean, sure, can it represent that sometimes? Sure. I mean, that's, again, tarot's not really in that way. These readings are not predictive. It's more of again, like a reflection back with the energy. Like, here's the energy now. How do you want to work with it? How do you choose to perceive this and move forward? It's a very empowering portal, especially for Libras, especially because it's our season. It's our time. You are holding on to illusions. That's 7 of Cups in the moon. Okay, so loosen the grip to release the past and see the truth. And one day, Libra, you'll look back, you'll see the big picture. So trust in the unknown. And I just saw 444 on the timer. Now, this isn't a 444 reading, but what do you know? It's right there. And so your guides want you to know you're guided, you're protected. Angels watch over you with love and encouragement, Libra. Back to that trust in the unknown, right? Now, if you want some schoolhouse homework, you could pull 10 cards from tarot, right, for the 1010 portal. I mean, I definitely ask you, I think you should definitely be writing down intentions, and maybe some of those other questions that we've asked. So journaling would be good. You could repeat affirmations like, I release what no longer serves me. I choose alignment, balance, harmony, truth, love. Oh, look at this. Laughter is key. Find the humor and take a lighthearted approach. And then also what came out was, you can always ask your guides for help. They can't always intervene without your permission. Now I do want to I'm getting 10 galactic angel messages. I don't think I said that, but yeah, we're going to get 10 of these. I wonder why. Why 10? No, just kidding. Hey, if you enjoy this reading while I'm shuffling, great time to just hit that like for me, please. Subscribe to the channel if you enjoy this. Thank you. Become a member. All right. Soon we will be lifting the veil and you will see the light. Yeah, that's true. I believe that. I do feel some of you have, there needs to be this kind of like restoring curiosity. You know, some of you, maybe you haven't been allowing yourself to be curious, explore, play, go on little adventures, right? Yeah, it does. It feels like, you know, it's your time. It's your time to, shine, be, change the direction of certain things with the wheel. And that's why I call it like a karmic cash in, because it seems like you're the one doing it. It's not just it's not karmic. It's actually it's cosmic too, in a way, right? Because it's the big and the small, it's the micro and the macro level of how the universe is responding and how you're responding to the energy. So because karma is cause and effect, right? That's what it is. Like, what you put out, get back, right? So if you've been putting out all this positivity, and like kindness to others, and you've been putting your best foot forward, so to speak, right? I feel as though this, working with this 10-10 energy on your dreams, on where you want to go, what you want to do, this new direction, on your soul's evolution, whatever you want to call it. I feel like that's the part that's like very it's very cosmic. It feels very cosmic. The energy feels very cosmic to me. It feels like you're getting ready to be rewarded. And I think, because yes, you've been putting, your heart and soul into something or someone, and it just feels like, well, we realize in life things don't always balance out. Libras know that better than anyone. We're the scales, right? We know that things don't always balance out. We're not looking for total balance and total alignment, right? Not all the time. But it would be nice to have things shift a bit, right? A little bit at least, and have some of that good karma come around, right? So I feel like some of you, it's like, get ready, because I feel as though some of you are going to see and feel bits of that um, more just happiness coming in, and moments where you're calmer, maybe. And maybe this is just what I'm hoping to right now. No, but I do think that, because you're doing all of this other stuff, and there's this element of restoration, and really tuning into oneself, and a real much of a focus more on self and doing the work, then I feel like maybe some of you are going to recognize the benefits of some of the positive things you've been doing. It feels like there is going to be a shift. So, am I saying, oh, everything's going to be great? No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying everything's going to be great. But I do think that it's going to, continue doing the things that you feel are of benefit, regardless of what other people think. As long as you're not hurting anyone, obviously, or yourself, then I would, just stay on that track, and because other people, they don't know you the way you know yourself, right? Yeah, I think that it's going to pay. Something is going to pay off big time for you, Libra. Reconnecting to your past to unlock your future. It's about healing and moving forward. And one more to make it 10. We'll get our animal cards too. Libra. New beginnings. Ooh. You're about to give birth, Libra. Could be the birth of a child, a new business, or a creative project. Like I said, something is, I guess that's probably the better way to say it. Like there is this rebirth, there is this new path, new start, right? Well, we talked about new path, but it does feel like you're going to get indication of at least being on the right track, right? Something positive. Yeah. Let's see. Animal healing cards, please. It feels like you've put in the time, you've put in the work, right? And that's why I feel that for a lot of you, I can't promise it for everybody, obviously, but I feel like a lot of you, you're the one, you have that awareness now. It feels like you have that awareness. Maybe you've had it a long time, right? That you're the one in control here of that wheel of fortune, and you're gladly accepting that responsibility. It feels like gladly giving up that 10 of wands kind of 10 of swords, all that negativity. And you're really focusing on the 10 of pentacles energy, on the 10 of cups energy, right? 10, 10, bringing it in again. But this is about you turning that wheel, grabbing that wheel and making it go forward in the direction you want to go. That's why I'm confident, Libra, because I'm confident in you. A lot of the times we'll give the universe credit for the things we've done. And that's fine, if that's, I don't want to get into like religion either and like personal, all that beliefs, but I feel like Libra, sometimes you need to step up, and 6 of Cups can have to do is step up and receive your flowers. Usually there's someone getting flowers, right? And, pat yourself on the back. What's wrong with that? Toot your own horn, Libra. All right. All right. You have Scorpion, spiritual path, card 21, solar plexus chakra. This is an important time of transformation. Don't be afraid to release what no longer ignites your passion. Surrender to the path of your soul. And there it is again. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Scorpion. Like our neighbor's Scorpio there. Right on the cusp would be 1021. I say 1021 because it's 21 on that card. All right, what else? Who else? Wolf. Oh, again, we had this recently. So you are a divine being, so much more majestic than you could ever imagine. Embrace your true greatness. Your leadership power serves many, Libra. 45. And then Armadillo. This just came out recently too. Card 1, energy protection, Earth Star Chakra. Are you feeling sensitive to harsh energies? Remember to shield yourself. Ask your angels to guard and protect you, and trust that you are safe, Libra, and that you're on the right path. You'll feel it. If you're not, you'll know. All right. Now we're just going to get a couple of these. A couple of the divine wisdom. Divine infinity. Challenge yourself to go beyond your limitations, and you'll find infinity. And look, that's a card of balance, balancing the energies, right? And that's what's happening here throughout this reading. And you have Hand of Fate. Everything's happening for a reason except the things which fate binds you. To which fate binds you. All right. But again, fate with that Wheel of Fortune, it's like you do have some say, though. Explosive situations. So some sort of, back to that tower. This destruction will allow new growth to emerge and shape a whole new future. And a wealth of knowledge. Connect to the knowledge in your soul and teach and help and heal the world. Some of you are teaching and healing and helping. That's what I have for you, Libra. You know how to show support. Happy 1010. Happy birthday. Thanks for being here.